Hi, Susan Fowler here. Have you noticed that adults can be just as bad as kids when you ask them to do something? Apparently, without conscious thought, they just have this knee-jerk reaction, a resounding no. Just think about the unprecedented pushback that public health officials and organizational leaders, parents, and teachers are getting these days. I think it begs the question, how do leaders get people to do what needs to be done without setting off an automatic negative response? According to motivation research, a person's reaction to your request or demand depends on how they internalize it. A no response could be for one of two reasons. First, people might recognize that they actually have a choice on how to react. So they reject your request, but it's after thoughtful consideration leads them to conclude that by complying, they're actually betraying deeply held values or a sense of purpose. Such a mindful reflection could also lead them to a values-based yes. The second reason people say no is because they think that their choices and options have been taken away. They reject your request or demand to escape uncomfortable feelings of feeling pressure, coerced, or being imposed. Such a threatened response could also lead them to a fear-based yes. In the first situation, people experience what's called autonomy. That's our need to feel that we have choices, we have options within boundaries, and that we're in control of our own actions. Autonomy is essential to three foundational psychological needs that we have that required for thriving: choice, connection, and competence. When these three needs are satisfied, we flourish. But as in the second situation, people will languish when they feel that their psychological need, any one of them, is diminished or absent. People don't want to suffer, so they seek a substitution for what's missing. Saying no is their unwitting attempt to take charge, to feel in control, to compensate for what they perceive is a lack of autonomy. An explanation of this phenomenon called, and this is a mouthful, compensatory need satisfaction is in my article, Why People Say No. These days, people can experience a loss of autonomy everywhere they turn. They feel manipulated by recommendations to take a vaccine. They feel frustrated at losing their personal freedom because of a mask mandate, or they want to resign because of a return to the office demand. But here's the sad irony. Many people don't even realize that they're choosing potentially harmful substitutions as a way to replace their perceived loss of autonomy and as an attempt to regain a sense of control. They reject taking the vaccine, they refuse to mask up, or they may even quit their job. We're experiencing, and again, this is hard to say, compensatory need satisfaction on steroids. So as a leader, what are you to do? You need people to follow rules, comply with safety regulations, and meet job expectations for their own good and for the welfare of your organization and for their neighbors and for the community. I think the answer could lie in an essential leadership skill: how to provide direction with autonomy support. I hope you'll check out my article, Why People Say No, for 4 techniques that you could begin using today. If you express your demands without an awareness of how you could be triggering people's loss of autonomy, you almost ensure rejection. But when your leadership provides direction with autonomy support, you actually inspire people to make more thoughtful choices for themselves and others.